Hello again on my on this installment of Spiritual Wisdom. My name's Nicholas, and on my YouTube channel Spiritual Wisdom I talk about witchcraft, Wicca, paganism, crystals and their magical properties, herbs, the law of attraction, self-love and so much more. So if you're interested in all manner of magical things or occult subjects, this is the channel for you. So today this is an installment of spiritual questions. So if you have any spiritual questions, these are some spiritual questions I've been asked before, and I'm going to be answering them in this installment, in this video. But if you have any questions, you can comment down below, or there's any videos you would like me to do on a specific subject, comment down below and I will make a video on it. If you like this video, please hit like, and if you would like and if you want to become a member, please become a member of the spiritual community, because my goal on YouTube here is to create a community, so please hit the subscribe button. So we're going to start with spiritual question number 1. Can you read your own tarot cards? And the answer to this question is yes. No matter who you are, you can read your own tarot cards. And when I was doing what my cards say about my future, that is what I was doing. I was reading the cards for me and what they were saying about my life and what's coming up in the next few weeks for me. But I would say you want to study the cards, what their traditional meanings are, and then do readings with the cards yourself and learn what do those cards mean for you intuitively, and write it all down. It's also a good idea not just to research what the cards traditionally mean, but also to meditate on each individual card as well, and write down what it energetically feels like to you as well. So yes, you can read your own cards, and even though I can read my own cards, and I do still read my own cards because that's part of psychic development, you can, if there were an opportunity to see someone who done tarot card reading or palm reading, even I can do that for myself as well as other people, if the opportunity came up, I would grasp at the opportunity to do that. And I did when I went to a witchcraft event with my friend and with my two friends Sophie and Francis as well, and it was a great event and I met a like-minded person. Another question is, can I buy a tarot card deck? Is it bad luck to buy yourself a tarot card deck? And the answer is no. There are a misconception with your tarot card deck, it's got to be passed down from the family, or it's got to be passed down from you from another magical practitioner. In some cultures that may be the case, but the reality is every tarot card deck, almost every deck I've bought it myself, and I've been practicing witchcraft for 13 years as well as reading cards for around about that time as well, and I've had no bad luck because of it. My friend Kiza, she did gift me a few tarot cards and they're great and I've had no problems with them. And again, it's great to be gifted tarot cards if a family member was interested in tarot card reading and they passed that down to you. It is great. And again, it's important to remember, rather you buy a deck or you get a deck passed down, always cleanse your deck by putting it through incense smoke. You could also get a selenite crystal and place it on top of it. So those are two sort of tarot card questions I get, can we actually read our own cards? And the answer is yes. And even though a lot of my clients, people that come and see me for a reading, can read their own cards, they still would like to get a reading from someone else someone they don't know, so that and see what that experience is like. And the reason why I, as a psychic reader, would go and see another psychic reader is to have a like-minded experience, a like-minded conversation. And I also know, as I'm giving that person money for that reading, I'm supporting a member of the magical community. And it's important we support one and each other very important that. And again, now you know you can buy your own cards, and it's great if they're gifted to you as well, but that's not a requirement. Another question that many people have when they start out in witchcraft or spellcraft: do you need tools to practice spells? And the answer is no. You do not need tools to practice witchcraft or magic. All the magic is in here and in here. You could just simply, do some energy sensing, do some centering and grounding, and all that energy you gather together, you can visualize your desire going out to the universe, already being a reality, and it will be a reality. It will be. It will be a reality. So you can use your mind, your heart, because all the magic is within you. And you can, as we ground ourselves, we're using the energy of the earth alongside our own energy. And we can use the energy of the elements as well as our own energy to bring about the changes we want in our life. Okay. Anyway, Thursday. So those are two sort of tarot card questions. Another question: it's great to have tools. When you start in witchcraft, you don't need to rush out and buy all these tools. The best tool you can get when you start out is a journal. It doesn't have to be a fancy journal. It could just be a very cheap journal. But one maybe you like the look at. I love a lined journal, and I've got two books of shadows, where one's really a grimoire full of information. The other book I've got is a book of shadows, where it's filled with information as well as personal information. People might also ask, what's the difference between a grimoire and a book of shadows? And I'm going to answer that question. A grimoire is a very old magical book. It's a very old magical textbook, and that's exactly what it is. It's a textbook. It's full of information, and it tells you how to do different rituals, different spells, how to invoke spirits, but it's all information based, and it's got a very long history. And a grimoire is very much associated with witchcraft, and many witches today have a grimoire as well. Whereas a book of shadows is Wiccan in nature. The concept of a book of shadows was popularised around about the 1950s with Gerald Gardner. And a book of shadows is a book not just for a Wiccan to record information. It's also a book for their personal experiences. But be you a Wiccan or a witch, you could have a grimoire for all your information, and then you could have a book of shadows for information as well as personal experiences as well. And a book of shadows is more of a modern concept, and it would be more, a book of shadows would be more for your spells, your rituals, and your personal experiences of how those spells and rituals went. But you can include information in it as well, whereas a grimoire would just be a textbook of magic and spellcraft as well. And that's sort of the difference. One is personal and one is just practical and a textbook, and that's sort of the difference between a book of shadows and that. Another question people might have: can you work with plastic in your practice? And the answer is yes. But plastic, bear in mind, does vibrate at a lower energy frequency, but you can still use it. For example, when I went shopping one day outside Tesco, I found a plastic gold coin. And I said, I'm going to cleanse this, charge it, and use it in my money bowl. And I've used that coin, and it's worked. It has brought me luck, prosperity as well. So you can buy plastic gold coins, or you could find one. And I was meant to find that, and there's no such thing as coincidences as well. So, and you could anoint it with some oil. And again, some people, they may have a plastic wand, and yes, you could use that in your practice, depending on what tradition. With witchcraft, there are certain traditions of witchcraft, but most things go with witchcraft because they ain't set rules or it's a practice, and everyone practices in their own right, whereas there's not many religious rules of that. Whereas Wicca being a religion, they may be set rules and practices, and a lot of people in Wicca may not feel very keen using plastic. And same with a lot of people in the witchcraft community. But if you do wish to use plastic, you can use it, bearing in mind it vibrates at a lower energy frequency. And also plastic's handy, like you get plastic jars. If you wanted to do a freezer spell, it's better to use plastic, because there's a freezer spell I done for someone. I done it on someone because they were very negative and very hostile towards me and family members. And a freezer spell is just to stop this person, to pause what they're doing, to stop their negative actions. It's not done to cause harm to them. It's just done to stop their negative actions. So again, you would just put their full name in a piece of paper. You fold it away from you because you want that person's energy away from you. You'd put some protective herbs in the jar. Then you would add maybe add water, put your plastic lid on, and then you're putting the jar in a freezer, and it's all symbolic because you're freezing that person's actions and behaviours. And a glass jar would burst, maybe with the pressure, with the cold ice and cold air, and the freezer it would burst. So a plastic jar would be much safer to use when doing a freezer spell. So there's lots of ways I'm not keen on using plastic a lot, but if you wish to use plastic in your practice, you can. You just have to bear in mind it vibrates at a lower energy frequency. That's all. And those are some another question people may ask: are there any crystals that never need cleansed? Now, many people in the crystal people who do energy healing, crystal healing, most people in this field will say that the crystals selenite, citrine, and clear quartz, but these three crystals never need cleansed. I am with that opinion. I agree. Those crystals never need cleansed. Selenite is a crystal that never needs cleansed or charged. It amplifies whatever you're doing. Same with clear quartz and citrine. However, if you have a different opinion and you feel every tool, every crystal needs cleansed and charged before using it, then you should do that. Go with your intuition. And that is my biggest message in life when I meet people or when I talk on YouTube, on my channel. Trust your intuition. I would never cleanse these crystals before using them because to me they're already beaming with energy and they're always charged, and to me they never need cleansed for that reason. But if you feel differently, then you should go by what you feel is right, because the best tool in witchcraft isn't crystals, candles, or that. It's your intuition, what you feel in your heart and what feels right. So if you wanted to know what the best tool, that was your question, what's the best tool in witchcraft? The best tool is your intuition, what feels right to you, what makes sense to you. However, until the next installment of Spiritual Wisdom, this is me just answering some questions on tarot cards, crystals, and other questions on spiritual topics. If you have any questions, comment down below and I will get back to you. Also, if you would like to see a video on a specific subject, comment down below and I will make a video on that specific subject. And if you like this video, please hit like. Please subscribe, it would really help my channel grow and you become a member of the community, and I wish for us all to sort of grow together and create a sort of like-minded community on YouTube here. So until the next installment, may meet, may part, meet again. Have a great, blessed day. Blessed be.